So I'm Not a Robot. Basically, this is about a woman who's at her office and she has to update her computer. And there's the CAPTCHA things. You know those things where it's like, because she's supposed to update it and she hits a thing that says, I'm not a robot. And she clicks on it and she can never pass it. Like, it's basically like, where it's like it's like click on the images that are cars. And everybody messes that up because you see a tire of a car in one of them and you think, I guess they mean that too. But eventually everyone passes. It's pretty easy. But she keeps not passing it. She keeps failing over and over again. She's frustrated. She calls customer service. She's trying to figure this out. And then she hits on a thing that says, I am a robot, because she figures, well, I got to update my computer. And then she carts clicking on it and she realizes how much of these things are her, specifically, are about her. Like the thing about her, like not having her parents died in an accident when she was young, was one of them. Various different things, and she realized that maybe she is a robot. And they even bring up, like, everyone in her office knows about the CAPTCHA test and how it's like a Turing test sort of thing, and she can't pass it. And then so she's sort of freaking out, and how it says that she is a robot. So she calls her, I guess her boyfriend, I don't know if it's her husband or boyfriend. And she says, they keep saying I'm a robot, but I'm not a robot, right? And he just like pauses and he goes, oh, it's breaking up and all this stuff. And she has to sort of deal with the fact that she is actually a robot. And it's kind of interesting idea that you fail the CAPTCHA thing. Like, those would actually work. Because I was thinking the other day, like, what happens to a robot? This is a Dutch language short. It is really only takes place in an office. It's very simple. If you're ever like, if you are a filmmaker, someone who's into that, like, a lot of shorts are really good at taking a little concept and playing around with them and messing around with that. And I really thought this was actually a cool little short, because it's just like her in the office dealing with this like massive thing, dealing with her boyfriend, realizing that she is an actual robot. The actress Ellen Parn, who plays Laura, does a really good job actually of like showing like the fear and realizing like that she's just like is a robot, and like why was she built, and like all this crazy stuff, and like sort of dealing with like the fact that like this is just a thing that happens in real life and stuff like that. But I thought this was a cool short. I was directed by Victoria Warmerdam. It'll be down here when it's a separate thing. I thought it was a really inventive, smart short, and it says a lot about like our modern society. But I also like that like everybody in the short knew it's like CAPTCHA and stuff. Oh, and they're playing the Creep, but not they're playing Radiohead's Creep, but it's like the cover from the Social Network trailer with the kids singing instead of just the song, which I thought was like actually kind of interesting, because at first you just think she's I think Corbett's mentioning that, like, it was Patrice O'Neill did the bit about how it's like the white people anthem and stuff like that, but it works better because they play it again towards the end of the film, and you really I don't belong here lyrics and stuff play throughout it. I think it like means a lot more as it goes on. So I actually thought that was really really interesting and really smart, and like kind of like a great little quick short film kind of concept. So I do recommend it. I would recommend watching it as soon as you can, because these things get pulled fairly quickly. But if you can watch it, I posted it on there. I'll try to repost it in the description of this. I would suggest, I think New York Magazine posted it. It's really interesting short. I think it really came together, all of its themes and stuff, and the fact that they use like one location, you don't see anybody rip off their skin and there's like robot parts. It's very smart. You believe it all, and I think it's all because of the acting and the great direction, and I really wish more people would check it out, because it's one of the few shorts you can without having to pay at a theater. But I think it's very inventive, and it talks about our time. If you ever wondered clicking that I'm not a robot thing, what would happen if you say you are a robot, I guess this short answers that horrifying question.